If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Ro, and this is my last review for Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. And even though I did a review a while back on Star Wars Episode 8, I want to give you guys some of my likes and some of my dislikes when it comes to this movie. And one of the three things that I enjoyed from Star Wars Episode 8 is the Rey and Kylo versus the Throne Room Guards. When it comes to this fight, seeing a bad person or a villain with a Jedi teaming up and taking down some baddies is something that you've never seen in the Star Wars universe before. I mean, you've seen Jedi fight Sith, or you've seen Jedi fight the bad guys, but never seen a team up. And even everything leading up to this fight, the dialogue, the death of Supreme Leader Snoke, and the glances that Rey and Kylo give to each other, like if they knew one another, like if they have sparred before. I mean, just seeing the slow motion and then everything just moving so fast, and the coordination between, you know, the fighters and the Sith and the Jedi. I just really enjoy the way this fight was presented to us as an audience, because it's something that we never seen before in the movies in our Star Wars universe. And the second thing I enjoyed is the use of the Force. We have seen before Force Ghost and, you know, levitation or moving of stuff or mind tricks, but actually a Force Ghost connection, we call it Force Skype. I really like that part. I know some people didn't enjoy the fact that Kylo and Rey were communicating each other through the Force and seeing one another. Not necessarily seeing the surroundings, but actually get to see one another. I really enjoy that because there are different aspects of the Force. None of us know how really the Force works, and to see different things that you can do in the Force just brings and opens up a lot of possibilities in Star Wars. Even seeing Luke projecting himself within the Force, kind of like how R2-D2 projected Leia, you know, to give that message. Now we see Kylo projecting himself into the depths of space. And can you imagine what else can you do in the Force besides what we normally have seen before? Episode 8 brought us some interesting things about the Force. And the third thing for me that I enjoyed the most is seeing Force Ghost Yoda talking to Luke. To actually see puppet Yoda interacting with Luke and everything that surrounds that scene, it just makes me feel like how I felt watching the original trilogies. So I'm glad they used a practical effect, not CGI Yoda, but a puppet, and Frank Oz to reprise his role as Yoda. And we needed this. We needed this in the Star Wars universe. In every movie, I believe, in every Star Wars movie, we should have practical effects and also that feel that we all get when we watch the original trilogies. Now, there's a lot of more things I enjoy from this movie, but those are the three things I wanted to highlight. And obviously seeing Carrie Fisher, this is her last film in the Star Wars universe. It was very touching, I guess very emotional at the end when she has that conversation with Luke and Luke gives her that kiss on the forehead. I really enjoy that. There are a lot more things that I can say that I enjoy, but there are a lot of also disappointing things when it comes to The Last Jedi. Now, my number one thing that I did not enjoy from Episode 8 is the Canto Bay Cantina scene, or Canto Bay scene. Now, a lot of it, the special effects didn't work for me. I mean, they were wonderful special effects, but just the whole storyline itself, kind of like, it was like that unnecessary detour to where they needed to get at. Now, I don't mind Finn and Rose getting captured at the end of the movie and things not working out. That's fine. Sometimes in movies or in real life, you know, things don't work out the way you think they're gonna work out, and I understand that. But that scene itself just didn't work at all. The humor in that scene didn't work at all for me. The dialogue, the goofiness, everything that happened in that scene did not work for me. And because of that, that's one of the things that I enjoyed the least in this movie. If you were to take out that piece or that scene out of that movie, you would have had a great movie, maybe even better movie. But Canto Bay is one of those puzzle pieces that you try to fit it in and it looks like it can fit in, but ultimately doesn't. And that's my humble opinion. Maybe you guys enjoyed it, but to me, Canto Bay, that scene didn't work out. Now, the second thing is that kiss between Finn and Rose. That was cringy awkward. Finn could have had a wonderful death, a heroic death, and then kind of Rose comes in, crashes into his ship, could kill him potentially. I mean, he could have died either being a hero or being side struck by Rose's speeder thing. And then you get that awkward kiss. So all that scene itself, that was terrible. So that's the second thing I really, really dislike from The Last Jedi. And the third thing I did not enjoy from episode 8 is the character of Luke. Unfortunately, Luke was a very missed character. You know how you have that hit or miss? It was completely a miss. The reason why is because the last time we saw Luke, even from Battlefront 2, because you get to play as Luke in Battlefront 2, and apparently Battlefront 2, the game, I'm talking about the game, was supposed to be some continuation to The Last Jedi. Even if you play the game mode, you get some scenes where it kind of jumps into The Last Jedi. We never saw Luke as a weak character, and that's the thing. There was no build up to what we got in episode 8. Even though he was gone and we didn't see him in episode 7, and even though we hadn't seen him in 20 plus years, we never got the hint that Luke was gonna turn out the way he turned out. We always saw him as this hero, never giving up hope, and then all of a sudden we see him as a hobo or hopeless hobo person and a coward. And I just don't understand why they did that to Luke. And believe me when I say I went through a lot of interviews on YouTube. I read a lot of interviews of Mark Hamill and Kathleen Kennedy and everybody that had a thing or say when it came to Star Wars Episode 8. Even Rian Johnson, I saw a lot of his videos trying to explain why they did that, decision when it came to Luke. And I really tried to sympathize with them, but ultimately I realized that it didn't matter what anybody said that was not in the movie. So because they put it in the movie, that's already canon, that's already solidified. And if that's already solidified, that's who Luke is. And I should not be watching YouTube videos or reading interviews when it comes to the character Luke. I should be getting that vibe right off the film when you sit down. And I didn't get that heroic hero. I saw a beaten down Luke, and I don't believe Luke would have turned out that way. Look at Leia. Look at her character. Her son turned to the dark side. Her marriage fell apart, yet she's still that hero of the rebellion. She has lost many lives, I think more than Luke. Yet she stood her ground. She still stood out as a leader. Yet Luke had, his nephew turned to the dark side, killed a couple of, younglings or students, and then all lost and is hopeless. I just don't understand. So to me, that was one of the greatest disappointments in episode 8 and a big, big missed opportunity when it comes to the character of Luke. But those are my thoughts for Star Wars Episode 8, and I know The Rise of Skywalker will be here in 6 more months. So 6 more months, we get to see what J.J. Abrams is gonna do to close this trilogy. And I know Episode 8 was very divisive amongst fans. Besides the prequels, Episode 8 was very divisive. So I wonder what's gonna happen with Episode 9. But comment below, let me know what are your thoughts about The Last Jedi. What are the things that you love? What are the things that disappointed you? Let me know, comment below. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to ring that little notification bell because it lets you know when we upload more videos from Star Wars World Reviews and also when do we go live. So thank you guys for being here, and like always, can't wait to get you back here at Star Wars World Reviews.